All right, everyone, we should be live. My daughter commanded me to wear this particular helmet, so yeah, I don't have any choice but to go live without a colander on my head. By the way, the other day, some people were worried about me. It was just a Delta glitch, so don't worry about that. And we're going to get to the news. Yes, the live stream is actually live. Hey, Cam. Hey, Sigil. Everyone else. We've got polling. We got to talk about that. Radio station parts ways with host after admitting White House gave her questions before the Biden interview. Yeah, coincidental. Days after his big Biden interview, George Stephanapoulos says the man will make it through more years in office. Again, really confusing. Group files petitions to put recreational marijuana on North Dakota's November ballot. I support this. I believe in legalizing marijuana. It depends on the form of legalization, though. Like, with regards to Iowa. They tried to legalize it there, but it was going to be like just state-run, just dispensaries, and people wouldn't be able to actually grow their own. And finally, they got it through, and then there was something better. They held out. Hurricane Beryl makes landfall in Texas, knocking out power to more than 750,000 people. Unfortunately, as I will talk about, it's probably going to get worse than that. And then we've got this whack-ass dude, Sam Carling, Labor MP, 22 years old. He looks like he's about 42 years old, though. He looks older than I am. I would never guess that he was 22, and he's got the biggest forehead that you can ever possibly conceive. He looks like a fucking alien, so we're going to be mocking him because it's funny to do so. But yeah, I was commanded to wear this helmet by my daughter, who is 2 years old. She thought that it belonged on my head, and she would be very, very upset if I took it off. So basically, I look like a member of the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster at the moment. That's not actually my intent. It's just I have to wear the colander. It looks a little bit like one of those helmets from Zulu or something, like the pith helmets that the British used to wear anyway. So it's all good. You can probably take a blow too, you know. Yeah, it'd probably be all right as long as it had a chin strap, you know. Needs tinfoil on top. And make sure to ground it. They're looking into charges for Le Pen. Why am I not surprised? Alan Tanay, Sticks, why are you gay? Why are you late? Clank. I am one of these two things. I was a little bit late, admittedly. The Jerk, no comment. So, yeah, give me money, jerk. I like money. I love money. I want to roll around in money. And people that claim that they're not interested in that, they're just lying to you. Sigil Stone, so what kind of salad do you sexually identify as? It would have to be one with a raspberry vinaigrette. The other components don't really matter. Yeah, I've got my helmet on. This was literally my daughter's idea. She thought that it fit on my head, and it was hilarious. And so, yeah, Where's My Elephant Gun by Amber's Only. I've got my tiger here, too, actually. Come on. What? Well, you know, if you're going to sit down there and grump, then you have to show off. Here's my tiger that I caught, you know. Didn't have to shoot this tiger. All I had to do was tame it. As you can tell, this is not going to be a normal live stream. It's going to be a little bit off the rails. But then again, that's the norm for the channel, so it's all good. Sticks is going to hunt Robin Williams. Yeah, I don't care if people think that I'm weird because, I mean, I am, so it's all good. So let's go to the latest polls first and foremost. We've got Emerson polls that we have to talk about as we sit here in our pith helmet. Emerson, general election, Trump v. Biden v. Kennedy v. West v. Stein. Trump +4. Okay, that's pretty good. General election, Trump v. Biden, +3. So, yeah, they're within the margin of error. It doesn't really make a difference. Trump v. Harris, Trump +6. Of course, he's not facing off against Harris. Trump v. Newsom, Trump +8. I've warned people. I've warned the Democrats over and over again. Biden is not a strong candidate. That much is very much clear. I mean, we see it. We can watch the debate and we can judge that for ourselves. Trump v. Whitmer, Trump +10, by the way. We know all of this, but Biden actually does better than all the alternatives repeatedly in polling. It's not even close. Trump beats out Biden by a few points, but he beats out Harris, Newsom, or Whitmer by a huge margin. And that's not surprising to me. Wisconsin, Trump v. Biden, Trump +5. That's Fabrizio and Anzalone. Also, if in a 5-way race, you've got a +6. And so we've got our new polling there. We've also got the older Emerson polling. Trump +4 in Arizona, +5 in Georgia, +1 in Michigan. That's not a surprise. That'll be close. It might go blue. In Nevada, +6. In Pennsylvania, +5. In Wisconsin, +3. And in the general, +2. That's Morning Consult. That's not Emerson. If you look at the recent polling, there's literally no matchup to be had. Joe Biden is massively, massively behind. That's just the long and short of it. He has to make up, 5 points or so in the next few months. I don't think he's going to be able to do so. I think that he's going to lose. I think that Donald Trump will be reelected imminently, as I prognosticate to you with my, strainer up here. Again, this is my daughter's idea. She's 2, and she found it hilarious, so I figured I would keep it on. Ray Atkinson, Sticks, remember ice cream helps with Alzheimer's. Believe I saw this on your channel, looked up some of the studies. I did see something about that, although I didn't look into it really in any detail, so I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, the Kiwi Farms threads about me going completely insane or something like that. Radio station parts ways with host after admitting White House gave her questions before Biden interview. WURD Radio is not a mouthpiece for the Biden or any other admin, CEO says. Well, I mean, it sounds like you were. WURD, a Philadelphia-based black-owned radio station, has parted ways with its host after she revealed that the White House provided her with a list of predetermined questions prior to her interview with President Biden last week. It was a softball interview. She was provided with what she was supposed to say. Normally, when this is revealed to the public, you wouldn't think that you can the anchor, that you can the host. You acknowledge we fucked up. Andrea Lawful Sanders, which is a hilarious last name, by the way, admitted during a CNN interview Saturday that Biden's team sent her 8 questions to ask ahead of his interview on The Source last Wednesday. Lawful Sanders said she approved 4 of the questions and used them during her sit-down with the president, which marked his first interview following his disastrous debate performance last month. The questions centered around Biden's accomplishments, debate performance, progress in both Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, which is absent, but whatever, what's at stake in the election, and what he would say to voters who are considering not voting in the presidential election. Yeah, they canned a black lady off of this radio show for daring to tell the public, hey, the campaign came forward with questions beforehand, literally told me what I was supposed to ask him, and then I went through and I chose a few of them. This is completely unacceptable. It makes absolutely no sense, too. If you want to lose Pennsylvania, all you'd have to do is piss off Pennsylvania voters. Well, this is in Philadelphia. On July 3rd, the post-debate interview with President Joe Biden was arranged and negotiated independently by WURD radio host Andrea Lawful Sanders, without knowledge, consultation, or collaboration with WURD management, Lomax said in a statement on Sunday. That's the CEO. So in other words, let me get this straight. You didn't know you have the president of the United States on your radio show. You weren't aware of the ramifications of what was going to be asked and how it was going to be asked or anything like that. You were completely clueless. It was just completely her decision. The interview featured predetermined questions provided by the White House, which violates our practice of remaining an independent media outlet accountable to our listeners. As a result, the black chick got canned, as opposed to you coming out and saying Joe Biden fucking fucked up. WURD Radio have mutually agreed to part ways effective immediately, she added. Again, the question remains. You were unaware originally, like I'm sure that there were emails bouncing back and forth, right? You were probably aware of the fact that these questions were being proffered. You didn't have to take them necessarily, but for the purposes of the interview, they were granted. And four of the 8 were granted, and she went through them and did her own thing. Why are you canning her? Why don't you can your whole radio show? I would think that would be the best thing to do. I don't think anyone should listen to WURD in Philadelphia at this point. You canned one of your anchors there for going along with the White House, but you were too busy to even check in on what the fuck was going on. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. Absolutely. Mark Guidetti, Trump Ramaswamy 2024, Ramaswamy Gabbard 2028 and 32, Gabbard Hexenhammer 2036 and 2040. I would never accept the job, and I would prefer Trump and Gabbard this time around. And then I would prefer like Gabbard and Rand Paul the next time around myself. Symbolic belief. Can you make a Styx keys to the White House and we can test the accuracy? I think it will be fun. I could probably design something like that. Let me look into it. I'll figure out what I'm doing. No, I don't understand. Why do you shit can the anchor when the network itself, should have been on board with okaying the questions and stuff like that? I have no problem, by the way, with the anchor deciding to softball or something like that. I mean, it's going to be a fluff piece. That's perfectly fine. Trump gets them too when he goes on Fox or something like that. But my God, why shit can the anchor? By the way, tonight you have a soccer match here in Europe between the Netherlands and England, actually. If the Netherlands wins, I will get no sleep because the fireworks will be going off nonstop, incessantly for hours. And so I just thought I would point that out. So if I seem a little bit tired tomorrow, there's probably a reason for it. Sigil Stone, Trump's coming to my area on Saturday. I'm debating going because that's the middle of when the hurricane is supposed to be here too. And apparently Kristi Noem has deleted socials and gone dark. Yeah, I'm not surprised about the latter. I mean, you can go if you want to, but be careful of the hurricane. We'll be talking about that later. Doc Holliday. Chances Big Mike takes time off from punishing Barry in the sphincter for droning American citizens and enters the race. 0% chance. That will not happen. I think I hear soccer hooligans out there literally right now. It's probably a good thing that I have my my helmet on. Ryan Adams, favorite era of Roman history. I love late Republic. I like pre-Roman, actually, with some of the tribes that existed before Rome consolidated. By the way, I think I am allowed to take this off now. My head is starting to get sweaty. No, I like some of the pre-Roman cultures actually as well. Also like Phoenicia a lot. Yeah, the Etruscans. That's what I'm talking about. We'll get to our sponsors really quickly before we continue. We've got cultivated-mind.com, where you can get mushroom pills. Yes, indeed. Disclaimer, FDA declared, of course. I'm not allowed to say that they do anything medicinal, but in my own personal experience, they do seem to give me more energy. I couldn't bring them, here to Europe, but when I get back to the United States in a week or so, I'm definitely be scarfing a couple of those down. So again, cultivated-mind.com. They've also got some new tropics available. Pumpkinfirecrafts.us, where you can get belt chains, keychains, you can get bookmarks, you can get engraved spoons, and much, much more. You should grab some up. They've got all sorts of things. I think there's glassware available now as well. Hi, Kitty. Yes, of course. You're not my merch sponsor. You're not a sponsor at all. You don't give me money. You just give me fluffy things, and then fuck up my nostrils. We've got BiltongUSA.com or AntonsUSA.com, where you can get delicious meat. Yes, I've got a shipment actually waiting for me back home, and I can't wait to eat it. I can't wait to try the kangaroo biltong. I have a feeling that that's going to be very, very interesting. Also, Stick, Sex, and Hammer tumblers, mugs, and shirts available as well. We've got wickedneedleembroidery.bigcartel.com, where you can get Stick, Sex, and Hammer hats. You can get the offset logo. That one I think was more popular. Or the central logo with Stick, Sex, and Hammer 666 right below it. Various colors and designs available as well. HeritageHeirloomSeedCompany.com, the land of the seed survival bucket. Yes, indeed. I've got a lot of shit in the garden that's growing as a result of them. I really thank you for that, for the free seed bucket. And also, we've got the Stick, Sex, and Hammer soap box. They're making soaps now, too. Various flavors and varieties available. Well, I don't think you want to eat the soap, but, you know, it smells good. It smells like it's edible. We've got the clove, cedar, and blueberry blend, actually, for the soap that is Stick, Sex, and Hammer in nature. It's got the covering on it, of course. We've got websterswares.com/sticks-wares, where you can get metal straws so you can save some turtles, jackets, knives, flags, pretty much whatever you want. Lots of Stick, Sex, and Hammer merch. And keep in mind, there's also Trump merch and other miscellany available. We've got jamandbean.com. That is JAMNbean.com, where you can get delicious coffees and teas. I strongly recommend the Costa Rica blend because you shouldn't die without trying it at least once, unless you're caffeine sensitive, in which I don't want to kill you. So it's got a pretty good kick to it. It's also really smooth, so you probably want more than one cup. We've got MTPew, that is MTPEW.com, where you can get ammunition, range brass, or newly manufactured. You can get pistol and rifle ammunition from them, 5.56, 223, 9mm, 40 Smith & Wesson, 45, etc. So they've got you covered, pretty much whatever you want. And finally, brickmuseum.com. That is based in Bellaire, Ohio. It is a Lego museum. If you were a 90s Lego kid like me, this is pretty much your paradise. It's pretty much, it's where you want to go. I can't wait to see it, actually. I'm planning a visit actively at this moment. It has an awful lot of Lego sets. I wish that I had those Lego sets. God damn. Anyway, we'll go back to the news. I just had to read out the sponsors. It's all I needed to do. Let's see. Sigil. Check out Leto's Law on YouTube. Leto's Law and his new video on FedEx. They're equipping their trucks with license plate readers and sending the data to the cops. Corpo-fascism is coming in hot. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Kaiser Permanente, largest healthcare provider in the United States, is also equipping their facilities with AI-armed cameras that send data to the police. Yeah, robots and AI are going to be everywhere within the next 10 years. There is nothing, by the way, that we can do about that short of having a nuclear war or some other problem. The bonus hole. Sticks, did you convert to Pastafarianism and plan to get a driver's license? Also going to see Marilyn Manson next month. Marilyn Manson is cool. No, my daughter believed that it was a good idea that I should have to wear the pasta strainer on my head. And so I was doing that for her benefit. Now I'm allowed to take it off for a little while. Alan Tenays, the hat, glasses, and shirt give me Hunter S. Thompson vibes. Yeah, I know. I need a real pith helmet. I think I'll get that next. I'm going to order one of those. Zowie Fenderblast, I dig the plant helmet. The best be with you. Thank you. Derek B. Clank from the hurricane fallout zone. So is that Texas, Jamaica? It could be a lot of places at this point. I am very worried that the hurricane is going to slam into New England, and it's going to go Irene mode, and it's going to drop so much rain that it floods a bunch of shit out, and that's going to be a real problem. That's going to be a real problem. George Stephanopoulos. Days after his big Biden interview, George Stephanopoulos says the man won't make it through 4 more years in office. I mean, he's not wrong, but for what it's worth, in the video, the person filmed Stephanopoulos walking towards him in workout clothes. They panned away from the host as they asked, "Do you think Biden should step down? You've talked to him more than anyone else has lately. You can be honest." Stephanopoulos responded, "I don't think he can serve 4 more years." The anchor confirmed that he'd made that comment, but told TMZ earlier today, "I responded to a question from a passerby. I shouldn't have." Yeah, I shouldn't have responded to that question. I should have just ignored it. An ABC News spokesperson told TMZ George expressed his own point of view and not ABC News' position. During Stephanopoulos' ABC interview on Friday with Biden, the president gave no indication that he plans to step aside after his disastrous June 27th presidential debate. By the way, the next one is in September, so we've got a while to wait. We've got a while for Joe Biden to crepitate just a little bit further, and then we can see how he performs when he's 2 months more demented or something like that. He told Stephanopoulos he was just having a bad night during the debate. He also repeatedly said in the interview that only the Lord Almighty could make him quit the race. Appealing to religion. This is normally a Republican tactic, by the way. Stephanopoulos isn't the only political commentator who's recently interacted with Biden who's expressed doubts about his ability to run for another term. CNN's Jake Tapper, who moderated the presidential debate, read a quote from Biden's appearance on Morning Joe interview with MSNBC. "That soundbite is supposed to be reassuring," Tapper said. CNN's Jake Tapper reads an incoherent Biden quote from Morning Joe word for word. It's supposed to be reassuring. Of course, it didn't reassure anyone. Here's the thing. A lot of liberal commentators at this point, I think, realize that Joe Biden is not going to win re-election. So they're less afraid of him. So they don't have to fear, repercussions if they throw him under the bus. And they kind of want to throw him under the bus because some of these people actually give a damn. Unlike Biden and certain people in the Uniparty, they don't give a damn at all except about themselves. They kind of give a damn. They're like, well, if the country completely collapses, I might be out of a job. It's completely self-serving, but at the same time, there's an effort is being made, basically. That's the whole point. And so they're trying to shaft Joe Biden. He's not going to drop out. He is going to run. He will be the nominee for the Democratic Party. That's my prediction. I know that a lot of people are saying it's Michelle Obama out of nowhere. It's Kamala Harris out of nowhere. Gavin Newsom or Gretchen Whitmer, one of these other people. That's, number one, a terrible idea. They poll worse, as we saw in the first video of the day, than Biden does. So it'd be a terrible idea strategically. Number two, you can't force him to step aside. I mean, you would need evidence of severest incapacity in order to 25th him. The fact that he had a poor debate performance, I see what I see. Like I know that he's incapacitated. He's clearly demented. You probably understand the same thing. But the fact is that you would have to adjudicate that before Congress. And so it's going to be more difficult to actually do it. J. Mill, got to see a Robert Plant show last month. Robert Plant's pretty cool. Miles Kinslow, hey Sticks, I noticed that the Democrats are trying to tie Trump to Epstein Island. Is this desperation? They've been doing that for years. So it is, but, no more desperate than normal. The Jerk, Sticks, please put this money towards a new Freedom Seed dispenser. Also, I recommend checking out Berserk, the books anyway. Thank you. Helios Ending, just wanted to say thanks for all the years of excellent, explicit financial and medical advice. Thank you very much. Weird. The only way to stop Trump is to put in age limits. Yeah, you'd stop Biden at the same time. Some people would think that was a good idea, I think. Cam2425 IA, the spaghetti monster. Sigil, there's something we can do about it. The UK and the Blade Runners have shown us the way with ULEZ cameras. I don't exactly know what that is, actually. Yeah, Joe Biden, they both had half the brain removed. I think Biden's had more than half of his brain removed. I think it's more like maybe 2/3 or something like that. Group files petitions to put recreational marijuana on North Dakota's November ballot. Bismarck, organizers of a ballot initiative to legalize recreational marijuana in North Dakota, submitted petition signatures on Monday, likely setting up another statewide vote on the issue that voters and state lawmakers have previously defeated. You should legalize it, by the way, but it depends on the initiative. The New Economic Frontier Measure Group submitted more than 22,000 signatures, sponsoring committee chairman Steve Bakken said. The initiative needs 15,582, that's a real weird number, valid signatures to make the November 5th general election ballot. Secretary of State Michael Howe's office has until August 12th to review the petition signatures. Watch, they'll try to block it or something like that. Bakken, a Burleigh County commissioner, former Bismarck mayor, said the measure is an effort to preclude anyone from out of state that might be potentially unmanageable. A lot of what we don't want to see what's going on in some of the other states. We think this is a measure that fits the conservative nature of North Dakota, Bakken told reporters in an office where House staff unboxed petitions. Also, law enforcement resources should focus more on opioids and fentanyl, not minor marijuana offenses, he said. I happen to agree. End the drug war, especially with regards to marijuana. And when the Republicans, half-heartedly at this point, at least at the state or municipal level, when they're standing against marijuana legalization, it's like watching the stupidest orangutan in the jungle bonk itself in the head over and over. That's basically what's happening. You don't seem to understand. The drug war has worn thin. People don't want it anymore. They understand. Most of them smoked pot. I've smoked pot. Most of you have smoked pot. We realize that it's not even as addictive or as problematic as alcohol. So just legalize it. Let people grow a couple of plants and just fucking leave them alone. As long as it's not being given to kids or something like that, what's the fucking problem? I'll never understand it. One issue on which I tend to side with the left more than with the right, because some of them still want to keep the drug war going. I'm not exactly sure why. I mean, why? To raise revenue? Well, then just fucking come out in favor of bigger taxes or something. See how far that goes. Sigil Stone, ULEZ means ultra-low emission zone. Basically, no cars allowed. It's being used to implement the 15-minute city crap. The Blade Runners are destroying the cameras used to enforce it all the time. Good on them. I support them completely if they're doing that. Yeah, fuck the cameras. They should all be destroyed, along with the robots and everything else. I remember one story from years ago. It was in Los Angeles, I believe it was. The police deployed a robot, right? One of those Protectron-looking things, like a giant, it looks like one of those Weebles. You knock them over and they pop back up or something like that. And it was rolling down the street. And a woman tried to report a crime. And then it told her to go away, and then it started whistling a song or something like that. I remember the story as plain as day. Well, what the fuck is the purpose of these things? They make absolutely no sense. Yeah, Portland fucking sucks. San Francisco fucking sucks. LA fucking sucks. I mean, basically anything on the West Coast fucking sucks. It's too bad, too, because there are places there like, the Bel Air area or something. They're very, very beautiful, physically speaking. If you had normal people living there, yeah, sign me up. But unfortunately, you have abnormal people living there. I don't think that it's a plot to kill Christianity, ingenuity. I don't think it has anything to do with religion. I think it has more to do with the plot to kill freedom more than anything. You don't need to be a Christian to be free. I'm not a Christian. I'm a pagan and an occultist. but I still stand for free speech and the absolutism of the U.S. Constitution and always will. But by God, I mean, yeah, end the fucking drug war. If people want to grow marijuana, let them grow marijuana. Who cares? It's literally a weed. It's pot. Most of you have smoked it before. More than 50% of the people in chat right now have smoked marijuana. Did it really fuck you up? Probably not. If it was laced or something like that, maybe. But I mean, if you can grow your own pot, then you know that it's not laced. Well, that's the whole point. Grow your own fucking weed, you know? I'm not encouraging you to grow marijuana. That would be illegal in some states. Possibly wherever the hell YouTube is located at the moment. I'm not even sure at this point. Weed policy keeps changing over time. Aussie's Robots, morning Sticks. Why hasn't anyone brought a legal case against states registering illegals? Ultimately, SCOTUS should intervene. There are probably cases that are undergoing, but keep in mind SCOTUS is very, very, very slow by design, so might take him a couple of years. Swamp Donkey. Did you see in France, since the leftists won, they're going after Le Pen's party finance via investigations? Not a surprise. The right, when they got in power, sit on hands. The left, total war and purge. Yeah, they're trying to gun after her because they're afraid that Le Pen's party will win the next time around, basically. They're terrified of her. Swamp Dog. I never smoked or used weed. Growing up around meth heads and heroin users ruins the appeal to drugs. There is no equivalency, just to be clear, between marijuana and methamphetamine or crack or something like that. They're not exactly the same thing. It's a fairly innocuous drug. In fact, when I was using drugs back in the day, back in college, I mainly focused on psychedelics because they had a much more impact. I was never hugely into marijuana at all, except when I was using that legal weed bullshit, the spice that really knocked me out because I had an overdose on it. If weed had been legal, I just would have smoked the weed. But unfortunately, the government decided that I should be knocked out on my ass. Then I had to drop out of UVM, making me the success that I am today. So thank you for keeping marijuana illegal, at least at that time. A couple years later, it was legalized. Now I can't use it anymore. How wonderful. I can grow it, though. Turbo Jones, I'm blocked from YouTube comment over the terrorist state of Israel. Can you see this? Yes, I can actually see that. You got to understand, sometimes if you're trying to comment on something, like on a regular video, it just gets blocked by YouTube inexplicably. It happens to me all the time as well. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. It doesn't even make sense, their TOS at this point. Sigilstone, ever smoked duck? Pretty trippy, getting high on quack. Also, I wanted to make a warning here for everyone. If you are in the path of Hurricane Beryl, that is, it's currently moving across Texas. I think it's probably in Oklahoma or something by now. The storm surge and stuff like that, of course, doesn't affect anyone inland. This is probably going to be a rain dropper, and I see signs that this is going to be a little bit like Hurricane Irene. My problem is it probably moves across New England. Right around the time, by the way, that I'm going to be getting back home. I tried the other day. I thought that the car that we have here, I was going to sell it, and then I was going to transit back to the U.S. for a couple of weeks. And I figured I'd take a little bit of I'd go to my garden and stuff like that. And that didn't work out so well because Delta decided to have a thrombo. There was a little bit of a problem. They decided to shit the baby. And so I had to rebook the ticket this morning. But I'm looking at a situation where, I mean, when I get back, there might be no power at the house. Because in a couple of days, it's going to slam into New England. It's going to drop a shit ton of rain. Unfortunately, again, when you have mountains, it all funnels down. It's not the same as on a flat surface. It's not the same as on a flat plain. So if you were in the Midwest, it's just a bunch of flat cornfields. Okay, you get a bunch of rain. There's a couple of inches of rain on the ground. That sucks. Maybe your corn gets drowned out. If you have a bunch of mountains around, well, oh, we've got 17 feet of fucking water where there should be 7 feet of fucking water in this stream. Well, our infrastructure can't deal with it, and the bridge just got washed away. This happened during Hurricane Irene. I'm very much worried that that's going to happen. I think that this is going to be a big one. There's another reason why I kind of want to transit back temporarily, just in case things get bad. I think it could get really bad. If it's a tropical depression when it hits New England, all hopes are lost, basically, for infrastructure in certain parts of Vermont and New Hampshire. My hope is that it veers off. No offense to people that are in the Lakes region or in the lower Midwest or something like that. But I'm really hoping that the storm decides to veer off in your direction as opposed to New England, because there is flatter terrain there. Oh, you'll still have problems. There'll be gusts and shit like that. But God, you don't want it up in those mountains. Again, I saw Irene myself. It was not a pretty picture. Sorry, I needed more caffeine. So for Hurricane Barrel, if you're in New England, I recommend doing a little bit of prepping. Just have 3 or 4 days worth of supplies on hand. That should be fine until power is restored. But expect the power to be knocked out unless you're in like the lower slopes of the hills or something like that. If you're in a valley location, you could have some problems. Lewis said, GM, hey, Sticks Ed and Growl, our farming sim is 50% off. Get it before the Steam sale ends. Help out an indie dev. Okay. Ed and Growl is available now on Steam. C. Newton, the storm is over the Great Lakes right now. No, let me check the hurricane. I don't think it's that far north. No, I don't believe that the hurricane is up there. You might be getting a different storm. According to the models that I'm seeing, it's still down there. 10 p.m. Monday. Okay, today is... Okay, it is over the Great Lakes. Yeah, unfortunately, it does look like the storm tracker takes it across the Catskills and possibly northern New England. So if you are in that area, be careful. My apologies, I didn't keep up with the storm tracker. Turbo Jones, should Trump or Republican convention make a big deal about Joe Biden refusing to communicate with his granddaughter from Hunter in Arkansas? No, it's not a big deal. That's the whole problem. Bam, MAGA for Biden. Questioning him is questioning our democracy. He is the people's chosen candidate. He doesn't need to speak. His track record speaks for him better than he ever could. Yeah, I mean, it does speak for him better than he can, so... You're not technically wrong on the last point. I know that you're being a little bit facetious, but technically, part of that is right. Let's see. Sigil, I did the duck one. King of Biltong, good morning from Anton's Meat and Eat. Free shipping for your Biltong using code STICKS on BiltongUSA.com and AntonsUSA.com. If you want liberty, you must push back against government fascists every day. And preferably eat Biltong because it'll give you the energy to do so. Highly recommended. By the way, fucking delicious. The unintended, say gang and sticks. Want to have a knee-slapping good time? Go into an antique shop and ask what's new. Oh, I thought I was the one that was supposed to make the dad jokes. Swamp Donkey. Drugs should be decriminalized, taxed, and a portion of the tax goes to rehab centers. Also, millennials and Gen Z, once they attain power, the ones that are right-wing will use power, I believe. Yeah, it's a little bit of a waiting game. As for drugs, I think legalize them and don't bother taxing them. No, I mean, if you eliminate all of those drug crimes, you clear out the prisons, you save a bunch of money anyway. You don't need the tax. Let's see. And then we've got, oh, Jesus Christ. I just wanted to share this out. And I'm actually going to post this cross-platform. You got to see this dude. Why is it, can I ask a question? Barrel is hitting more of the Adirondacks than the Catskills. So, that's sad too. I just posted something in chat. cross-platform. Can I please ask a question? Number one, why is it that so many Zoomers look like they're 20 going on 40? Like I look at myself in the mirror, I don't have any wrinkles. I don't have lines under my eyes or anything like that. I'm 36 years old. I realize that I'm not aging at a terrible rate. Like I don't look like all fucked up or anything. I mean, I'm no Adonis, but I'm realistic. Why is it that so many people that are, he's 22 years old. Take a look at this dude. Take a look at that fucking link. Tell me he doesn't look like he's fucking 40 and works for MSNBC or something like that. He looks like a news anchor working for CNN, and that he's in his 40s or something like that. Like he even appears to have gray hair at 22. Can I ask why this is? Is it the microplastics? Is it ambient radiation? Is it poor diet? Is it veganism? What the fuck is happening here? This is not the first time that I've seen it. I've seen it with Bronsky. I see it with all sorts of commentators. At least the Krasensteins are capable of building muscle. Give them a little bit of credit where credit's due. Why is this happening? Why, please? Yeah, Mars, Sigil. Didn't I see that dude in Mars Attack? What the fuck is wrong with this fucking dude? He's a Labour MP. He's an MP in the United Kingdom, and he's 22 years old. He's barely out of college. He's 14 years younger than me. You can't possibly in a million years think that I look older than him. Most of you probably look younger than him. What the hell is happening with Dash Dabrowski and Sisson and some of these other people? Why do they always look 10, 15, 20 years older than they actually are? I mean, I'm not even trying to cast shade or anything like that. It's just, I'm genuinely confused. I don't understand it. What's wrong? Again, microplastics? Are they eating cat shit or something like that? It's in our food. They are killing us. Well, see, we're eating the same food, but we're not aging at the same rate. That's the whole point. Maybe it affects people that are younger more than people that are older. We've already fully developed, so, the poison that they're feeding us, maybe it affects us a little bit less. And there were already microplastics and stuff like that before. So I couldn't think it would be that. Yeah, Lemon Curd Zero said VAX. Maybe. No, I am completely unvaxxed, and I am happy about this. I'm allowed to say that on a YouTube live stream. I'm just not allowed to question the efficacy of the particular Jabby McJab. I am pure-blooded. Mexican Trumper, how's this for stochastity? You and I share the same birthday, are pagan occultists, spend time in two countries, have a good dose of Scottish-American blood, and are ideologically aligned and enjoy biltong. Yeah, I think that we would get along if we went out for dinner or something like that. Have to, if you're in Mexico, and you have to go down there. The food is fucking excellent. You should try real authentic Mexican tacos. I can make them. But then again, sometimes you want somebody else to make them for you. And they're cheap usually too. Oh, and you can load them up with anything you want. Swamp Donkey, Clanker Mecca is under siege by the city of Roanoke. This is an attack on the Clanker Caliphate. Best wishes to Anton and co. Gott mit uns. The aging thing, social media, working the evil has its toll. King of Biltong, maybe ask Pfizer. I'm also spike protein free. Good to know. So then you're not shedding all over the Biltong. People will appreciate that. No, I just, all jokes aside though, I have noticed this. Why are, and it's limited mainly, like there are Zoomers that, they look young, then they're teenagers and shit like that, 20-somethings, and they look normal. Why is it that every political figure within the Zoomer generation looks twice their age? It's only the political figures, like the activists and craptivists and shit like that. They look like they're 40, sometimes 50 fucking years old. Is that, I guess it is like they've sold their soul or something like that. I don't know. Alan Tenays, I am single and won't even make out with a girl who has been jabbed. I think shedding is a thing. Yeah, Well, I mean, come on, dude. You wouldn't. It depends on how they look. You wouldn't necessarily say no. Skeeter McTweeter, can I get a shout out for my website, counter.news ty? Watch you every day. Counter.news. There's a shout out for you, Skeeter McTweeter. No, I mean, yeah, I still get carded occasionally. I'm fucking 36 years old. I know that I'm not aging at the normal rate. I know that I'm aging well, which is funny because I abuse the fuck out of my body. But holy shit. There are people, they're like fucking vegan teetotalers. They're 20 fucking years old. They look like they're fucking 40. Just saying. I mean, there's a little bit of a differential here. Ray Atkinson. Sticks, we weeded out weak genes, drank from hoses, rode in beds of trucks, put gas on blast caps, rode bikes, no helmets, etc. Yeah, maybe it's just because I got a lot of physical activity when I was young. I'm well aware of the fact that I don't actually look 36. I mean, I look roughly my age, but a few years younger. I don't look like I'm 50 or anything like that. But God, there are people that are in their 20s that do look fucking 50. You need to quit the veganism and get a lot more physical activity. You can then abuse yourself, apparently, and you'll be perfectly fine. Christian Garabedian. YouTube has shift out. I think you mean somehow banned my comment for being too spicy. It won't even let me leave my comment of hello. It's kind of creepy. Yeah, they do that frequently these days. Sorry about that. Alan Tenaz, I have been tempted before with a very hot jab girl, but was like, get behind me, Satan. True story. A story that you should probably tell in video form. That'd be fucking hilarious. King of Biltong, I've noticed that a lot of people seem to be aging really fast. Also seen a lot of 40 to 60-year-olds dying unexpectedly the last few months. Just my observation. Oh, I'm not allowed to speculate about exactly why that's happening. Died suddenly. Yeah, there's a reason why that's more than a meme. We'll just put it that way. But yeah, I've noticed like with this, look at this dude. Again, link in the description. I'm going to post it again just for anyone that didn't see it before. Take a look at this dude and tell me that he looks 22. Please, somebody try to justify that. Well, if I can actually post over here. Please tell me that somebody can justify that dude looking 22 years old. Because I'm drawing a blank. He looks more like a low-rent Max Headroom without the makeup on or something like that. I don't mean to throw shade. I'm not trying to bully this dude or anything like that. I don't know anything about his views. I don't give a fucking shit about that. Your forehead is gigantic, and your hairstyle accentuates that. You look all gaunt and sunken like you've, seen the grave or something like that. Why? Alan Smithy, that kid's problem is he's British. Now, I've met plenty of people in Britain that look perfectly normal, but, I mean, he's not one of them. Let's see. King of Biltong. I read that one. You're not getting a freebie even if you sponsor me. Matthew. I believe that was the yard chicken, actually. That's what I call the morning doves that go out there. I feed them every day, and I love it. Matthew Hammond, is it possible these Zoomers that look 40 are part genetics and part internalizing everything that is going to kill us on social media climate activists? Yeah, I think part of it is psychological. This is Mike. Clank motherfuckers. Tarl, have you analyzed the 10 million newcomers that are automatically registered to vote and what impact that will have on the upcoming election? It will have little impact in most states, thankfully. The Nerdwire, they sold their life force to the Dark Collective. Yeah, Drogon's got it right. I mean, he's 22. Supposedly, I would have guessed 40 or something like that. I would have guessed he was older than me. I mean, he's got the 22-year-old jawline, but when you look in his eyes, they look like they just look empty, if you know what I mean. He looks like he's been in a corporate boardroom for the last 10 years. By the way, send no more super chats, please. We're running up on 50 minutes, and at some point, I've got to flip my steak over. Unlike this dude, I've got a nice ribeye marinating at the moment. Gib Javelin, evidence of UFO biologics. Oh my God. Thanks, Sticks. Yeah, I mean, apparently they're among us. John Andrew, he looks like Beavis. I think I'd rather hang around with Beavis. At least that would be entertaining. I mean, it genuinely confuses me. I'm looking at this dude and it's again, I don't mean to, I'm not exactly one to comment on other people's appearances, just to be clear. I'm well aware of the fact that I'm not exactly a 10 out of 10. But there's a gradient with regards to ugliness. I like to think that I'm a little bit higher on that gradient than him. Or lower, rather, or whatever. I mean, Jesus Christ. What the hell is wrong with you, dude? Yeah, maybe he did sell his soul or something. At least Terry Sisson, I mean, he's got the baby face thing going on. He's not aging at the same rate as this particular MP. In fact, he's got the opposite problem. It looks more like he's fucking 17 years old or something. And I think he's like 25. So, I mean, you've got worse problems that you could have, at the very least. But God, you look at like Dash Dabrowski. He's younger than me. He looks like he's 40. This dude, he's 22 years old. He looks older than probably anyone in this fucking audience. I don't understand it. We used to call these people freakazoids and nerds and weirdos and stuff like that. We're not allowed to do that anymore. Sigil Stone, I have the explanation. The left are all dysgenic freaks, inside out and especially in the brain. I'm beginning to believe that might be true. Swamp Donkey. In college, the leftist political orgs all look significantly older. Some were legitimate evil worshippers. Working with their enemy and with that energy has a toll. You could feel something bad radiating off of them. Yeah, I'm just going to assume that it's the soy. You know, you ate nothing but soyant for the last week or something like that. Again, please send no more super chats, though. I do appreciate them, but I do have to go offline in a minute. Zuzu Thorns, it's lack of freedom that ages them as we knew it. Possibly, my friend. Alan Smithy, he's got that shadow over Innsmouth look. Yeah, like a Lovecraft character, exactly. Yeah, he could be cast in a Lovecraft movie. He's missing his calling. And if he's got a British accent, of course, that would work. Christian Garabedian, British people age like milk. I think it's from the lack of sunlight. Well, I mean, there's even less sunlight here in the Netherlands because it's very dreary and dark. But, God, people don't age badly here. No. I saw a woman once. I was in the Albertheim, right? And she's standing in front of me in the line. And I figured, I look at her figure. I mean, I'm a dude. I do notice these things. I figure, okay, this is a college kid. This is a kid from the local college. And she turns around. She's got to be fucking 70 or something like that. But if you looked at her legs or other things, she looked like she was fucking 20, 25 years old. She looked like a goddamn college kid. That doesn't have anything to do with the sunlight, that's for sure. I mean, it was incredible. I mean, and she had like colored hair and stuff like that. So I'm figuring, okay, she dyed it. You know, again, she's some leftist college kid or something like that. She had to have been at least 65 years old. Her face showed it. The rest of her didn't show it at all. Just saying. It was, I was like, what the hell? Sigil, it's funny you're saying donkey, like Shrek. Shrek 5 has been confirmed and coming August 2025. I'll probably watch it. Shrek is one of the few franchises that the mainstream has made that actually is good. Audible gasp, lol. No, I mean, she turns around. She's got to be 65, 70 fucking years old. But if you look at her from the back, I figured it was a college kid. I figured, okay, you know, you're younger than me, probably. It was really, really weird, by the way. That only really happens in the Netherlands. I think it's the biking or something like that. Like, you know, when you're exercising constantly, you know, you keep in shape more. Which is weird because when you look at the diet of the Dutch, when you look at the the entrees that are available here, most of them aren't that healthy. when you think about it. It's like bitterball, and what is it? It's basically fucking liquefied meat that's been breaded and fried. What's a croquette? It's the same thing, only in a lengthier form. What is, you look at all the meat and stuff like that, it's everywhere. Everyone drinks energy drinks. Technically speaking, people here should be fucking fat as hell, but nope. Yeah, Prestige sticks looking at Bonehead's cousin. No, I mean, 65, 70 years old. Looked like she was in college, except in her face. And it was Simba. It was incredible. Anyways, I'm going offline because I'm just going off the rails anyway. I will be live later with the quartering at 1 p.m. Eastern time. That's 7 p.m. local for those of you that are here in Western Europe. And we'll be having some fun. Christian Garabedian Sticks checking out Grandma's legs, hide the grandmas. It had nothing to do with that. It's just like you do notice other people's aesthetics, right? But Jesus, it was like, what the fuck am I looking at? I couldn't believe it at the time. I don't really see that in the United States. So I will go live again tomorrow as well with my normal news stream at the same time, roughly. You know, sometimes I get a little bit late. We'll tell some more crazy stories and eat some more biltong and things like that. I thank you to the almost 5,000 people who tuned in live. Actually, it might have been a little bit more than 5,000 at peak. I'm not 100% sure. I wasn't paying attention. Then maybe we can talk about more Dutch grandmas or something like that. I don't know. We'll get some more news. Go to antonsusa.com. Make sure to get some good charcuterie ingredients, you know, for all of you leftoids out there. Get some meat up in you. That's about all. Peace out.